So it's 7:30 in the morning, and guess where we're doing a video this week? We back at Mini's Paint Panels. Back on my same hoist here, and I am doing a set of BC coilovers into this early RX7. I actually had 3 of these as my first 3 cars, so it's good to be able to work on one of these again. Now put in the comments what you think these flares are from. Don't cheat. Put them now. Have a good look. As you can see, candy red. It's actually that Mazda Soul Red color. It's 13B turbo. Obviously here for a full repaint, and Mini did these flares, which I will tell you what they're from at the end of this video. And at the end I'll pull it down and so everyone can have a better look at what's under the bonnet. But this is what we're fitting today. So brand new set of BCs. Wowee. Now the pain in the ass with these is they're not just a bolt up. They're like a sleeve, and you got to chop the sort of stub axle here. So this should be fun. Now the reason we're putting the coilovers in now before the car's even painted, because we 100% want to set the height so that it doesn't get painted and then there's something that touches somewhere and you got to modify something, chop something. So I'd rather do all that, get it sitting exactly how the owner wants it to sit before it gets painted, so there's no dramas. Now this is everything we're fitting today. So the rears are a separate spring and shock, sort of like a Commodore in the back. Should be super simple. I'm just worried it's not going to go low enough, but we will find out. This is a really nice coilover setup. Damper adjustable, height adjustable, camber adjustable in the front. Nice bit of kit. He chopped the old springs the exact same height as the new ones. Good job. The rears are all done. They were super simple, like 45 minutes to an hour. It was just a bit annoying trying to get the tops in. That's why I did it the other way around, like put the bottoms in first, so then I could just jack the whole diff up on the hoist to get the top bolts in. Because I'm doing this by myself, I don't want to annoy the boys to, you know, come hold this, come do that. They got their own shit to do. So both sides done. Have no idea on the height because I just put them in as they were out of the box and made them even. So we'll see when we put it on the ground. I got this side front one out. Also very, very simple to get all this stuff out. This car actually has VT brakes, same as my VN, which is pretty cool. So it's got this adapter. So here I'll show you what we have to do exactly. Instructions here say to chop it 20 mil from the bottom. So lob it off here. And then this should insert over the top like a sleeve, and then you weld around the bottom, and that's pretty much it. So same as like an R31 and stuff like that. So has anyone guessed what these guards are yet? They're off another car, an Aussie car. Give you a bit of a clue, front and rear, off the same car. So keep going with your guesses in the comments. It's funny I'm working on this Series 1 RX7 because I've actually had 3 of these. I actually had a candy red one, same as this. I'll insert some pictures up here of my previous RX7s. So it's cool that I get to work on one of these. Funny enough, I've said it before, like how your taste changes, where this car would be so killer, like white or cream or, you know, an off gray, something like that sort of color. And with mad like 14s or 15s on it. And this car has really good potential to look absolutely amazing.
Here quicker than it went in. She's fucking shocking.
Safety second. So I did not factor in that as soon as you pierce through these, the fluid's going to go everywhere. So I assumed the shock stopped somewhere here and it wasn't this whole unit. But anyway. So the easier way to have done it would have been to undo these top hats. I'm sure there's something under here holding the shock in. So this whole unit's just a sleeve and the shock feeds in from the top. But I'm pretty sure these were going in the bin anyway, so it doesn't matter. So now the new coilovers sleeve over the top, the little nub that I've left on these knuckles. They are a very, very tight fit. I actually think I'm gonna have to go around these with emery paper around here and in here, just because impossible to get on. And we've got no press here, so. And then just weld her up and can chuck it back in. So after like an hour back and forth, grinding this stub down so that these fit really snug with a tight fit so that they can't move while they're getting welded, they're on. Just got to smack them in there with a hammer so they're really tight, run a bead, and I can put them back in. And if you're wondering what's under the bonnet of this thing, it's a 13B turbo. No idea what turbo that is. Big ass rear housing, as all rotaries are. Pretty small front, doesn't have any markings or anything on it. I don't know what it is. HT18S 2S, no idea what that is. Manual, red trim but black dash. I don't think I've ever seen that combo before. Roof lining all dark red, so it sort of matches the color. This car was silver when it came in here. I'm not sure, where's some silver? Yeah, that's the factory color there. Nice and snug, leave a little bit of a channel for Minnie to weld in. Mint!
And they'll probably the marks and say, hey bro, I'm practicing my body.
Alright, we have a small problem. As you can see, this bracket for the caliper is bottomed out on the bolt for this plate. I'm not sure if it was like that before, but you can't do it up tight. So I'm gonna have to pull this one bolt out and shave it shorter or add a washer. Well, actually, I don't want to add a washer because then the disc might hit it. I think this is all turning into a tomorrow job now. Figured it out. Turns out one of the bolts are slightly shorter than the other three, and only on the passenger side, which is a bit weird because all four on the driver's side are all the same length. Don't know. When it got tuned off over there, I remember my use. And we're done. Rear's done. I've just evened them left to right. I don't know what the height's going to be until we put it on the ground. Front's all done. Same thing, just made them even. Got to put the wheels on, put it on the ground to see what the hell the height is. So just luck. This is going to be a lot of adjusting, up, down, up, down, up, down, wheels on, wheels off, on hoist, off hoist. But anyway, let's see how we go with the wheels on.
I'll be in a white ute, okay? So if you see the white ute pull up next to you, that'll be me, and then
Oh my God.
Oh, it's already sticky. I'm like,
That's like on the...
buckle up.
Yeah, you're on the guard.
On the guard.
Don't solid naturally camber in the armrest?
No, because it's solid, it doesn't move.
See,
I kind of like the bigger tire.
I'm thinking bigger tyre as well. Literally just about to tell you that.
Yeah, but the whole idea of it is you want it.
Bigger tyre on the back, and
So we're going to go to a smaller tire on the front, raise the front, and we're going to go to a smaller tire on the rear, the same as the other side, and I'm going to lower the back. So back up on the hoist we go. But it does look good. Alright, front's raised just for transportation purposes, as this car, the owner actually lived in Victoria when it came here for paint, but now has moved to Queensland. So it's getting painted, tuned, everything down here, and then he's going to come grab it and drive it back to Queensland. So raise the front for it to get towed around and stuff like that. Now I found the easiest way to adjust the back, because the perch is on top, is to actually just undo the bottom of the shocks, drop the diff, drop the spring out, wind them up a couple of turns, pop them back in, put one bolt back in, and Bob's your auntie. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And lock it off and put it back in. Yeah, definitely the smaller tyre on the back. Ben was right.
yeah.
It looks too high with that bigger tyre on the back.
Put that smaller tyre on the back. I'll put it on the hoist and strip all the tyres off it.
So that's that. That's gonna be it. Fucking music. Get copyrighted. That's gonna be it for this one. I tried to make this video like I tried to film every nut and bolt being undone and done back up, so it's sort of a more informative video. If for some reason someone is watching that's doing coilovers into one of those RX7s, gone and picked up 2 front tires for that car. So what we had on that car was 4 different size tires, because we didn't know what was going to fit at the height and camber and all that stuff. So we just had a couple of different options. So I've settled on 215 45s on the front and 225 45s on the back. Seems to sit the best out of all those tires. So I just went and picked some up. I'm going to pull the wheels back off that car now, and those steelies, those widened steelies that are on it, are going to get painted gloss black, and put the tires back on, put them back on the car, and then the car gets painted. Hopefully I can, if people are actually interested in this car, maybe no one gives a shit about this car, I don't know, but if you are, if there's enough interest in it, I'll try get back there once that car's painted and assembled, so you can sort of see the finished product. A lot of work body wise gone into that car. Oh, I almost forgot. As I said at the start of this video, you needed to guess what those flares were on the car. So they are actually VE Commodore front guards cut and welded on to that car, front and rear. So the fronts are forward facing as normal, and the rears are flipped backwards. So if you noticed sort of how the front of that guard was, you'd sort of pick it as VE. So hopefully someone guessed it below. I'm sorry you don't win anything, but I'll give you a gold star if you guess right. VN content might be a bit scarce at the moment. I decided against, I don't know if it's been mentioned in a previous video or something like that in the meantime, but I decided against that converter that I had. There was too much going on, so I ordered a brand new one to suit that car, to suit the cam, diff gears, box, engine setup, everything, from Dominator. But it's a 3 to 4 week wait. So unfortunately I can't really do much in between. I'm going to try and find stuff to do on the car, but don't get shitty if there's no VN stuff for a while. Anyway guys, that is it. See you next week.